As we know from all the parables that Jesus shared, he was certainly a master storyteller, and he certainly made powerful points in the story. Obviously, in the gospel, and we know this already, Jesus over and over in many stories and many lessons was teaching that we are called to have a genuine concern for the poor. And that too often, and we have to watch this in our own day, too often we can be oblivious and say, well, I didn't know they were there. Well, Jesus were challenged in this parable to say, you knew better. As in the story of the rich man, you walk right by him. And we need to watch out for that too, because in our culture, in many of the political decisions we make, in our personal decisions, do we, first of all, as the bishops and the Pope have said, have, first of all, a preferential option for the poor. What that means is that when we look at all the decisions we make and people in business or whatever the circumstance, do we think, first of all, how is this going to affect the poor? And how are we going to respond to them? Or too often, if people are honest, we ask, how is this going to affect me? Or how is this going to affect the wealthy? But no, first of all, how is this going to affect the poor? And I think there's some, irony and poignancy in a way in this gospel. Because again, remember, Jesus is weaving a story. It's a story. And in that story, we see the rich man saying, hey, somebody go to my brothers. And think of this. This is just moving toward the second half of Jesus' public ministry. He knew what was about to happen. And for him, and he'd be the only one who'd know this, to conclude that story was saying, the rich man says, Father Abraham, if someone from the dead goes with them, they will repent. And then Abraham said, think about how Jesus even saying this, what he must have been feeling inside. If they will not listen to Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded if someone should rise from the dead. And how that must have felt, because Jesus knew he was going to give his life and trust that the Father would raise him up, and that might even not make a difference, as he's making a point at that point. And we see that because even the Pharisees, after Jesus died, they didn't all of a sudden convert and follow Jesus and love the poor. And for 2,000 years, probably we've all seen the gospel hasn't been lived nearly as well as it should be, starting in our own personal lives, even though we know somebody rose from the dead, Jesus, to teach us how to live. Even at times, I got to admit, we can even ignore him. Now, let's take that moment and see what he's saying to us this day. The poor among us may be financially poor, they may be spiritually poor, they may be lonely. They need to be noticed and responded to. Will we do that? God bless you.